Okay, just to introduce our last speaker for this session, Dr. John BRITTO, so I'll let you introduce your topic.
Respected Chair and dear delegates, good morning to all of you. As you all know, India is not only known for its rich biodiversity, but also its tradition and culture. There are many tribal groups settled in different parts of our country, and they have a great role to play in the conservation of biodiversity as well as the preservation of tradition and culture. So it is very important to document their knowledge and reinforce and revitalize their culture and tradition. That is the purpose of this study. This project was sanctioned by Ministry of Environment and Forests of Government of India, and this is related to one particular tribal group settled in the southernmost part of our country. It is the southern Western Ghats of India, named Kani tribals. So the main objectives of this study are to study the Kanika, that is Kani tribal, environmental relationship and their utilitarian practices relating to biological resources. Number two, to study and document the ethnobotanical practices of Kanika communities and to prepare an inventory of plant species used for food, fodder, fiber, human and veterinary medicine, manual and material culture. To assess the benefits derived from plants both for subsistence and for commercialization. Number four, to study the technological characteristics of the indigenous practices of the Kanikas and apply it to biodiversity conservation and community development. Number five, to strengthen the in situ conservation activities of these tribal families. Number six, to form women self-help groups for economic development and social empowerment. So there is a concept emerged 10 years before in our country called self-help groups, especially for women self-help groups. 10 or 15 women join together and then they form a small community and they get credit and loan from the government and they do some welfare works, programs. To coordinate systematic use and marketing of forest products through self-help groups. So this is the study area. So there are about 5 settlements in that area, namely Sinnamailar, Agastya, Sevalar, Palayamkottai, and total number of families only 101, and total number of the population is only 305. You can see the different settlements of Kanika families. So what we did? So regular, frequent and periodical visits have been undertaken to the study area and 5 settlements have been identified. First we established a relationship with the groups, then through informal interaction, collection of data on the traditional botanical knowledge, evaluation and use of management of biological resources, technological knowledge of the tribals, medicinal practices of the tribals and conservation problems have been observed. Then we have developed a software as to document the data, and we have also formed the women's help groups, and we have conducted some awareness programs and training programs to the tribals. Following is the list of some of the important medicinal plants used by the tribal groups. These are the most commonly used medicinal plants. Most common medicinal plant. In every settlement, there is a medical practitioner. So he collects the materials from the forest, from the medicinal plants, and he prepares the medicine. So people go to him and get the treatment. And they have their unique practices of celebrating various festivals. And there is another department in our university called folklore department. They are documenting the culture of people with regard to these festivals and so on. So we have collected all the data and we have documented. So about 208 species have been reported for ethnomedicine and 128 species have been reported for medicinal and other uses. So this is the software, this is some of the screens of that software. So in this software you will get all the details of the medicinal plants, botanical name, vernacular name, common name, local name, English name, and then medicinal uses, methods of preparation, methods of administration, everything is given there. So we are going to upload this in our university website so that you can also see later the various uses of medicinal plants used by the tribals. This is another screen. You will get all the details, including the figures. Then some observations. Tribals respect a few plants and animals as sacred and do not destroy them, and thereby they help to conserve these plants and animals. So the Indian kind of religious sentiments to the plants. The forest fires which are formed by natural or anthropogenic factors are controlled by counter-fire method. Sometimes the succulent plants are grown to control forest fires. So you can see some of the succulent plants grow near their settlements. The flood is reduced by placing huge logs in the site so that the speed of the water reduces, and at the same time the soil erosion also is controlled. The plantation of the crops is carried out in the affected area. They are very helpful and friendly with the Department of Forests, and they help them in controlling natural and anthropogenic factors such as fire, flood, etc. So they always cooperate with the Department of Forests in that area. After cultivation, they do not collect plants as a whole, but leave a part in order to grow it further, and vegetative propagation of some cultivated plants also is done. So it's the method of propagation. Let's see some of the technological indigenous knowledge of the tribals. So we have also observed some conservation problems in that area. For example, flood. Flood erodes the fertile soil present in the upper layer of the soil, and forest fire, wind, and also seasonal variations. Besides these natural disorders, there are also some anthropogenic factors. because that place is a tourist area where you find a falls, also a temple, and pilgrims every year in thousands go to that temple. Also a lot of tourists go to that falls and take bath. So this is a major problem for them. So electricity lines. So due to the construction of electricity lines, growth of plants in that area is restricted. So there is a dam in that area, and electricity, hydropower electricity is produced, and that affects the people. Then road formation. Due to the formation of road in the hilly areas, cutting of trees increases. Then to attract the tourists, boating is there in the dam area. So then monocrops, cultivation of eucalyptus, teak and other shade-giving plants restrict the sunlight reaching the ground, thereby preventing the growth of other species. Tourism is the major problem. As I said, temple and cattle grazing and also hunting of animals. These are all some of the problems they come across. Then the Department of Forest, in order to take the census report of the tiger in the forest, the census collectors make many quadrants in the forest field, and thereby the floor of the forest is also affected. Then harvesting. Commercially valuable trees like sandalwood, teak and eucalyptus are cut for making furniture. The herbal plants are being eroded by the medicinal practitioners of various villages around the forest. There is also another serious problem of conservation. And again, it's a very major problem. Cutting up trees for biofuel, household and for other uses reduces the forest. Some of the other problems. Pollution, flood, forest fire, fire collection, tourist activities, and pilgrims activities and so on. So, as I said, we have formed women's self-help groups. So our first venture was to revive the activities of the women self-help groups, which were already active in that area. We are continuously meeting the members and heads and convince them about the importance of women self-help groups. So we explained to them about the objectives of the project and convinced them, and they were ready to cooperate for the training program. So we have formed about 5 or 6 women self-help groups like Kurunji, Mullai, Karmandi, like that. It's the name of the flower, it's the name of the river. Then we got their opinion about the need for the socio-economic development and charted out the activities. Then applying for loan for getting license for boat services in the dam area, because as I told you, there is a dam, there is a boat service to attract the tourists. So if these tribal people also are involved in that, they could get some benefit of that. So applying for loan for getting boats, applying for loan for setting up petty shops in the dam site area, applying for loan for the preparation of herbal products, all these things. Then we also have conducted a training program on literacy and tailoring, training program on medicinal plant cultivation, herbal products preparation, preparation of homemade food items, and homemade handicrafts was conducted. And also we have conducted awareness programs on the conservation and marketing of forest products to the formal way, that is to cooperative society. So this is how we have collected the tribals and conducted the training program. finally, so we consider these are some of the achievements of this project. So we have made regular visits, we have established relationship, we have documented the data, software has been developed, and we have divided and also formed a new circle groups. We have created a kind of regular mechanism for the marketing of forest products by the tribals, and awareness programs we have conducted. Also, so it's about 60 kilometers from our university, so we encourage the students to come for schooling and also for higher education. So we give preference for them to come and join in our universities. Already one student has already completed his BSc zoology and he is employed, a tribal student. And we have also made arrangements in collaboration with quality organizations to give training on literacy and Rotary Club, on computer training. And to tell you, still now there is no electricity in that area. So we made some arrangement with the local collector, district collector, to provide electricity in that area. These solar lights and like that. Yeah. And there are some limitations. Okay. So they still get difficulty in getting the license to run the boat service. So Department of Forest is not cooperating with them. We always ask them to get away from the forest. It is the kind of conflict going on between the Forest Department and the tribal people. So these are some of the achievements.
Thank you for that. We've got time for one question that anyone has.
Is that software and that resource is going to be put online as a kind of accessible database? Or is
Still they have not uploaded in the website, so we are going to upload.
It's very exciting, yeah. I look forward to it.
And well, thank you. Now it's time for the break, and I think the rest of the morning is for the poster sessions, so we're not back till after lunch in these sessions. Yep. Yep. Do you want to pick up the floor again?
Those are in my second team.
Ask me a question? Janelle was talking about how maybe your daughters have are being a lot of helping in the areas and
Inspiring them to get outside.
I can tell you a little bit of the way we used to live and now. Years ago, we grew up with chicken berries and we were isolated for 68 when we
It's not related to the living things. It's being it's the same. So they call it flexible for
and all around us,
we look fun. Just show you the
when those we gathered. And so, like we used to drink the water in our flasks. We don't have. We get our water from this lake. It flows in our
Yeah.
So your parents are
No, they just like the name.
We never had much water. We used
Okay,
to
yeah.
let all the water. And my dad used to hunt and trap.
Yeah, I have it. I've read a little bit of it. No,
And we couldn't speak our language.
my interest is
And that's when
ethnobotany,
grade 8 and December.
but I just returned to school, so,
And
yeah.
all that, like, when we have to run, you have to go long ways. Whereas before it was just
Came here, yeah, it's
we used to
like
get
7 hours, so I live very close and easy for me to come, so I just do well.
like this water meat
Oh, yeah?
and blueberries, cranberries. That's how we used to live, but it was healthy. Now it's not. We would never eat berries that is around for the night. But we would eat it from Mosaic because
Yeah.
all of
That's,
them is never.
yeah, that's a different world from where I live.
And we're trying to protect that.
Yeah. I have a friend that, yeah, he goes, one day I'd like to go down to July and make movies and commercials. So he's always traveling to India and it just looks so, I don't know exactly where he
We
goes.
want them to go in there.
And on my own, a little bit I study Ayurveda.
And we
Read
go
a lot
there
of
and
that.
have cabin there. And when I
Yeah.
stay there, I have to sleep.
Okay, there's 5
Because of
different
the air. But when we're in the highway, you hear a noise all night, like boom, 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 from all the oil companies are ash. And suddenly down, and until upon right on the island of Alaska, and it's leaking, eh? And so that's how they polluted Alaska. Long
And they
time
deal
ago,
with
we used to die of old age, and we didn't know what asthma was. Now the kids are getting asthma, and now people are dying from cancer. And it's all because of all the pollution we get. That's what I know for a fact. Yeah. Like, I'm healthy, but I think it was because I grew up immune to all that stuff. It's good for me. But it's not the way it used to be. Yeah. We used to have a little store there, Hudson Bay. When my dad used to go hunting, he used to buy on credit what he needed for food because he used to leave in late September and he wouldn't come back till Christmas with fur. And then when he came home, he had to pay off his credit, and what little bit left he got, he used to buy groceries with that, and he used to travel on foot or by dog team. He never had to do or farm. But now we do, and we have running water now.
The berry patches are something where that I said that they don't trust. They actually don't eat the berries when we pick them. We run a berry picking kids. The first couple times we went, like everyone was taking the berries and I thought they were taking them home. And they were like, no, we don't eat those ones.
Yeah. I won't eat berries that are grown around the Kai, but I would eat berries that are grown in Mosaic because they're bigger and they're healthier because we got them tested, eh? And those berries that grow around the Kai, they're smaller. Yeah.
Are there any other traditional foods that y'all are also used to harvest that you don't anymore due to the pollution?
Like beaver and rabbit. We get the occasional buffalo if they come off the park.
Andrew recently was telling me that the beaver and the ethnos were really the furs in very well.
No, and they're not good. They don't have good fur. They don't have good meat. We used to eat beaver or meat too, right? Because that's the way we were raised. But now, and the fish in Athabasca is not good to eat either. So we go to different area to go fishing. We still go out a lot. We're always in a bus. Sometimes I'll stay home, but he's always gone. Yeah, he's always gone in the bus or somewhere doing this. Or trying to get a moose or a rabbit or whatever, But you have to go far. Whereas before it was just right around,
all the time. And I am for a long ways, but we don't live in the docking area now, so it's not so bad.
And a good thing. Probably when you stick to a time thing, you can sort of extend.
I know.
That's an interesting thing. That's what breaks it. Slowly building.
Yeah, and we used to drink out the glass of water. And in the winter time, we used to dig a hole
And they do this every time.
in it.
And you,
But
sometimes I'm not
we
sure
don't,
how they
we
group
don't
them
use
because it
our
seems
glass anymore.
you're
Not
interested.
from anyway, maybe it's from Sunflower and Simcoe. And the water level is just getting lower.
First time I've done
And
it, just
you
because
see a
it's
lot of
cheap.
sunflowers now, whereas before, it used to be high, but you know the oil companies use the water from Alaska, so that's what it is. There's hardly any water. That's not the way it used to be. When the ice used to break, it used to make a loud thundering noise. Now it just rocks right there.
Yours was good too.
Yeah, it was a good session.
You're local.
Kind of, yeah. I'm going to school here at the University of North Carolina.
Where are you from originally?
Kind of here and there, travel around a lot. My family's from, my dad's from here.
I should have pointed out on that map when I was doing.
It's an interesting part of the world to go to your studies.
Brazil? Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.